Έχουμε ξανακάνει βίντεο για τον άνθρωπο από το Κίεβο, The Fixer, πάνω στο περίφημο μυθιστόρημα του Μπέρναρντ Μάλαμουντ, που δείχνει τα Πογκρομ, δηλαδή τις οργανωμένες διώξεις στη Ρωσία κατά των Εβραίων, κυρίως επί τσαρικού καθεστώτος, που είχαν πολιτική σκοπιμότητα, με την έννοια ότι ήταν ένας αποδιοπομπαίος τράγος η εβραϊκή κοινότητα. Εδώ θα δούμε τον υπέροχο ηθοποιό Dirk Bogarde ως εισαγγελέα Μπίμπικοφ να συμπαθεί τον κατηγορούμενο φουκαρά Εβραίο μόνο και μόνο επειδή τον είδε μια μέρα τυχαία να μελετάει ένα βιβλίο του Σπινόζα, που το είχε βρει τυχαία στο δρόμο και έτσι από αυτό μελετάει για να μάθει ρώσικα. Ο Μπίμπικοφ, που λατρεύει το Σπινόζα, ξαφνικά καταλαβαίνει ότι αυτός ο ανθρωπάκος είναι αξιόλογος και πρέπει να τον βοηθήσει, αλλά δεν καταλαβαίνει ότι αυτό θα του στοιχήσει την ίδια του τη ζωή, διότι θα τον φέρει σε σύγκρουση με όλο το μηχανισμό που φτάνει μέχρι τον Τσάρο. Και τελικά θα δούμε πως ο Μπίμπικοφ απαγχωνίζεται από το ίδιο το καθεστώς, αν και είναι εισαγγελέας, και αυτός ο άνθρωπος επιβιώνει μόνο και μόνο επειδή είναι ακατάβλητος στο πείσμα του να ζήσει.
Identify yourself. Yakov Shevtsovich Bok, Your Honor. A Jew, of course. Anyone can see it. It was stupid to try to deceive. I admitted it instantly. I admitted it all the way here. I admit it now.
It's my task to find out why you are in prison and how long you are likely to remain here. In order to do that, I must know a good deal more about you than I do now. Now then, where's your family?
Well, you might say I don't have one, Your Honor. My parents died when I was a child.
Do you visit their graves on the Jewish Day of Atonement?
Not since I grew up. Dead is dead.
Do you have any children or a wife?
No children. In 5.5 years, my wife couldn't get pregnant, and finally I stopped trying. And then, well, to put it frankly, she was unfaithful, Your Honor. She ran off with an unknown party. If she hadn't run off, I'd have stayed in the shtetl where I belong, the village, I mean. Well, at this very moment, I'm sitting down to supper, such as it was, although it could have been worse. To tell you the truth, it wasn't such a bad place to be, now that I come to think.
Have you ever heard the expression, an historical necessity?
Excuse me, I'm an uncultured man.
Perhaps. But you speak very good Russian. Not at all like a Jew from the shtetl. Can you account for that?
Well, I've tried to improve myself, Your Honor. Although, as you see, it's done me no good. Only 3 books I brought with me to Kiev. One was Smirnovsky's Russian grammar and rules of pronunciation.
We also found among your possessions selected chapters from the works of Spinoza.
Then also maybe you found my tools. If Your Honor will excuse me, those tools are by living without them.
Why, of all philosophers, did you choose to read Spinoza? Because he was a Jew?
No. Oh, no, not at all. I was tricked into taking that book as payment for a job, and I cursed myself for it. It was only later when I began to read it that I found I couldn't put it down.
What do you take his philosophy to be?
Well, that's difficult for a half-ignorant man to know.
I'm only asking you that because I read Spinoza myself.
Well, I think he was saying that life is life. There's no sense kicking it into the grave.
I think you went further than that, don't you? I think he taught that all free men had to take a positive interest in securing freedom for their neighbors. Isn't that correct?
It's correct if Your Honor says so. My own personal philosophy is entirely disconnected from politics, completely.
What is your own personal philosophy?
That life could be better than it is.
But to make it better, one has to engage in politics.
Politics are for those who can afford. In my thinking, it's work, and more jobs would do it. Not to forget goodwill among men. Which reminds me, Your Honour, that I would like to see a lawyer.
Would you care to try one, please? They're Turkish. If you were asked, on your own behalf and in your own words, to describe yourself, what would you say?
Well, I'm what I am. No longer young, yet not old. Quick-tempered sometimes, but generally mild. In strange circumstances, somewhat timid, if you want the truth. Yet no coward. Lacking in education, yet not entirely ignorant. In short, and to sum it up, I'm a man who, although not much, is still much more than nothing.
About the lawyer. First of all, there's an investigation, and then an indictment is drawn up and handed to you. And after the indictment, you see a lawyer. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Now then, just fill in all those questions. And sign your name. I'll leave you the candle, but I have to hurry. My child, a boy, has asthma, and my wife worries. Well, she always worries. And I worry too.
Sorry to hear that, Your Honour. I myself have had asthma so long, it's a pity I can't take your little boys too. Because, if you'll forgive me, I know how to live with it, and a child never does.
Guard! Whatever happens to you, you must have great fortitude. The law will protect you, unless you're guilty.
Guilty of what?
Sexual assault on the person of Zinaida Nikolaevna.
It's not true, Zinaida Nikolaevna. I did not try to assault you. It's not true at all.
Silence. Sit down at once.
He's lying, and he knows it. He rushed at me, all lusting and lecturing with no clothes on at all. Only by screaming did I save myself and make him run away.
How do you explain this attempted rape?
I didn't attempt, and it wasn't rape. She invited me to her bedroom, and I went. Maybe I shouldn't have done. But considering a man's nature, what's so unusual? She was lying in bed, and she pulled the covers down for me to get in beside her, and I did.
That's not true. He's lying.
And then?
If you'll forgive me, Your Honour, some things are better not said.
Tell us exactly what happened when you got in bed, and tell the truth.
The truth is, and truth, Your Honour, being something almost always that you don't know at the time and discover afterwards. The truth is, she asked me if I'd ever been truly in love. And at that moment, something remarkable happened to me. I realized that I had been in love. And everything inside me went sick at what I'd once had and lost. So I jumped out of that bed and got out of that house as fast as I could, and that's the truth of it.
Why? Lies and more lies. I asked him nothing. It wasn't because he thought of another woman. It was something quite different.
If you needn't trouble you any more, Advance Ivanovich will take you down to your carriage. Yakov Bok, considering all of the circumstances, and this does not mean that I admire your conduct, I shall recommend that the charge of sexual assault be dropped against you.
Oh, thank God.
I shall, however, have to ask the court. I shall have to ask the court to charge you with taking up residence in an area prohibited to all Jews except those who have rendered conspicuous service to the crown. Which clearly you have not.
No, never. Not even once.
No. Therefore, you will be charged and sentenced for a misdemeanor.
Well, a man can't be lucky all his life.
You to state whether you are a member of the following political organizations: Social Democrats, Socialist Revolutionists, or any other groups, including the Jewish Bund, Zionist or whatever ilk or stripe, Samists or Volkspartei.
In the interests of saving time, may I say that the prisoner's negative answers are already in the record.
I beg to inform the investigating magistrate that I have no interest in saving time. I take these Jewish revolutionaries much more seriously than you do. Time is completely immaterial to me. Now listen to my next question most carefully, Yakov Bok. What do you Jews mean by the word afikomen?
I think it's a matzah used in the Passover ceremony.
Is it magic?
To my way of thinking, superstition, Your Honor.
This was found in your room at the brickworks. How did it get there?
An old man brought it. A Hasid. Complete stranger to me, I give you my earnest word. He lost his way. I let him spend the night with me.
Knowing he was a Jew?
Since when can two Jews contaminate each other?
Answer with respect. Is it not true that you and this old Jew personally prepared and baked these matzos?
No. Absolutely no.
Have you seen this before?
The old man had been hit on the head with a rock. So I used part of my shirt. I used it to wipe the blood away.
Tell me, Yakov Shepsevich Bok, alias Yakov Ivanovich Dologushev, alias God knows what else. Did you ever chase any children out of the brickworks? And in particular, a 12-year-old lad by the name of Zhenya Golov, murdered shortly thereafter, whose photograph I now place in your hand. Tell me, Yankel Jew, why are you trembling?
Every day he entered smaller amounts on the books than he should, so he could keep 4 or 5 rubles for himself.
The secret police confiscated 83 rubles altogether. If he'd been stealing 4 rubles a day, he'd have had many more, wouldn't he?
Who knows what a Jew does with money? Maybe it went for buying the candy. He was always trying to catch those children with. Sometimes they had to fight to get away from him. So, when the boy turned up dead up at the cave, I searched his room. And I found the mattress and the flour and that bloody rag.
That's the one! Oh, my God, yes, that's him!
What do you mean by him?
The Jew Zhenya told me about, the one who chased him with a long knife.
Note the identification. May we come into the house, Marfa Vladimirovna? We want you to tell us what happened a few days before the Jewish Passover this year. Speak slowly and don't slur your words. You paying attention?
The closest, Your Honor.
On the morning you speak of, my darling went to school as usual. And I worked late that night. Zhenya wasn't here when I came home, so I decided he'd gone to his grandmother's house, which he often did. And on that same night, I came down with the most terrible case of grippe. And you know how that is, Your Excellencies. Fevers raging, sweat pouring out, and all the time throwing up like a public fountain. For 3 days and nights, I wasn't able to leave my bed except for emergencies. And then, just as I was getting dressed to go for the police, my darling's little Zhenya was found dead in a cave with 39 Jew stabs in his poor little body. Since then, my life is over. I've lost all my reason to live. My grief has driven me mad.
Why did you wait so long before deciding to tell the police?
In my condition, with all solid gone and everything dribble-drabble turning to water, when twice in one night I wasn't able to jump fast.
Get on with the story. What did Zhenya tell you about the Jew prior to the murder?
He told me that one day the Jew chased him with a long knife. And he said, the next time I'll kill you once and for all. My blessed Zhenya. He was to be a priest. Did I tell you, Father? He said he saw a bottle of blood on the Jew's table.
There was no bottle of blood on my table.
Jam is not blood! Blood is not jam! Be quiet!
Why don't you turn to put that gun away? The man is trained and manacled.
I think we have what we came for.
I think not. I must exercise my prerogative and question the witness.
Why do you persecute me when you know I'm unwell? What have I ever done to you?
Well, you've done nothing to each other. That's not the point. Have you ever received stolen goods from a gang of thieves, one of whom was your lover? Is it not also true that a year ago, last January, you threw carbolic acid into his eyes and blinded him for life? A man to whom she has since been reconciled.
He used to beat me up, and I defended myself. Once he smashed me in the eye so hard it ran yellow pus for 3 weeks. Besides, as you say, I still see him. He thinks the world of me.
And isn't it also true that he beat your boy so severely that he lost consciousness?
He killed my baby! He killed my baby! Zhenya!
Next, he undressed the lad, then prayed over him, and then stabbed him in certain places. 13 stabs in the region of the heart. 13 in the throat, 13 on the face, collecting his poor lifeblood in bottles, while the child screamed for mercy and wept for a world he would never see again.
You're crying, what for?
For the child, Your Honor. Who else?
Then you're ready to confess.
I cannot confess to what I have not done.
You know, more and more the evidence seems to indicate that you're as much a victim of the Jewish nation as the child you killed. In other words, it was their idea, not yours. Huh? Very well, confess. And we'll take into consideration that you acted unwillingly and under compulsion. Now, surely a man of your intelligence can see the possibility. You were duped, Yakov Bog.
Who dupes a man into innocence? No Jew could possibly have killed that child. It's written in all the books, no blood. The rule is in the Bible, in the Torah, in the laws, everywhere. Many an egg my own wife would throw out if they go to fit up the smallest spot of blood. Razel, I would say, take care. We can't afford to live like kings. She was a fine cook, now that I come to think of it. Wasn't so bad eating in that house.
Enough. Enough. We have proof not only that you killed the child, but that you are also an agent of the secret international Jewish conspiracy called the Kahal, which is engaged in fomenting a revolution against the Tsar.
I'm not a revolutionist. Not once in my life was I even interested in politics. Who knows about such things? I'm a fixer.
Confession now can save you. Later on, not even God himself can help.
Confessing to lies takes a talent I haven't got.
Lies? It's the only talent a Jew has got. His character is unchangeable. His criminal nature is constant. All this has been scientifically established. Stand up. Jewish noses. And every one of them a criminal type. Here, for instance, is yours.
Here's yours.
Ah. A witty man. Tell me, Jew, did anyone ever teach you the meaning of the word respect?
Yes.
Define it.
It's what you've got to have in order to get.
I'm going to get you transferred to the preliminary confinement cell, Kiev prison.
Please, Your Honor. I've been over 5 months in jail, Mr. Bill. Mr. Bibikov said.
You can cry to Mr. Bibikov from now till doomsday. It'll do you no good. I'll keep you in prison till the flesh rots off your bones. I'll keep you there till you're so sick of covering up for these Jewish revolutionaries that you'll beg to confess the whole filthy conspiracy.
soft skin. And all that hair. Didn't cut it off, did they? Oh, it's lovely. You're not a stool pigeon, are you? No. Of course you're not. Kiss me, sweetheart.
Gently, brother. We're still strangers.
I smell Jew. Hey, you bastards! We got another Jew! And this one's mine. You're gonna be my mama. You know that, you stinking yid?
Ha ha ha!